Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you! Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I am a shameless fan of getting free stuff. Especially free, cool stuff that is the very realization of an idea I had long ago and never vocalized or even attempted to implement, and now I get to see it fully implemented by someone else in a manner far better than I could probably have ever done it myself. What we have here are some parts for the Nexus. We have a stock, a thumbhole braced stock. Very, very nice. Not an adjustable stock, but that's okay because I happen to really, at least I don't think it's adjustable. Doesn't appear to be adjustable. You could probably make shims back here. Anyway, that just goes on there and then has a couple of screws that go in here and a couple of set screws that go in there. Solid as a rock when it's all done. But it opens up right here. And there's the screws for that part. Because these are adjustable spring caps. So if you're familiar, Out of Darts has some 3D printed caps that you can put on the end of the Nexus that will either increase or decrease the FPS depending on which one you use. And they're fabulous because you can, just by swapping the one part, bring it down to super stock or even HVZ levels or increase it to a more competitive level. And it's really, really cool because the way the Nexus was designed, it's very, very easy to access the main spring. You simply take out this screw, twist the cap, and there's your main spring. And so by having different caps, you can change the FPS by adjusting what the pre-compression is on that spring. These are adjustable versions. It is, in fact, a screw, a thumb screw that you can adjust that increases or decreases the pre-compression on your spring. And so you can tune it to be exactly what you want. You can go as low as possible or as high as possible and get what kind of numbers you're after. Now there are apparently several different versions here. We have the standard one, and they actually provided the reference sheet on what kind of FPS it got. On its lowest end, it was getting from the lowest was 131, the highest was 153. The standard deviation ended up being 5.8. At the highest end, it went from, it looks like, 74 up to 86. Standard deviation of 3.3. So, pretty cool. That they actually provided all of that math. There is then an extended version which brings the power down a little bit more. So the low end on this one was again 131, but the high was 139. So the average came into about 135 with a standard deviation of 2.6. And the other one went from a low of 173 to a high of 199 with a standard deviation of 6.7, averaging 83. So not a huge difference, but a little bit, and enough that it might make the difference in whatever FPS cap your event has, potentially. So I'm going to start with the standard one, and it simply goes on here. It's got a brass cap that goes in there on your spring. Push it in, twist it. If you wanted to, you could put the, well, I probably should put the screw back in because I am going to be twisting this thing. And then you can reduce or increase the FPS on that spring simply by twisting it. And if you put it in this stock, maybe it'll fit. Yep, it will fit. You can adjust it while it is in, while the stock is on. You just have to open up that door, which conveniently has a set screw, a thumb screw. So yeah, that is pretty cool. There are then, he did send a few more. These are high tensile strength caps. They look identical to the standard caps, but I think they're made out of a stronger material. I would imagine either ABS or PETG or something, as opposed to PLA. They do feel denser, a little bit different, so neat. They also seem to have printed a little bit finer, so pretty cool. Obviously, I need to, well, first I'll take it to the chronograph, and then I will take it to the range and try it at different settings, and we'll see how it goes. So we'll start with the chronograph. I remembered I actually had another Nexus with a fancy stock and I was very, very pleased to discover that, sure enough, I can use the adjustable kit with this stock as well. Now, this is the blaster core stock. Not quite as easy to get to, but it can be done, and I figured out, I could tell now why I like the length on this one so much. It's pretty much the exact same length as this one. Very similar designs, but super comfy. Now I've got two options, so we'll take them both. This one's got the standard, this one's got the extended. I don't think there's any other differences. They do both have scar barrels, different scar barrels though, so now we'll take it to the chronograph and plink. Alright, we're going to test the FPS both at the lowest setting and the highest setting. Now keep in mind these are stock other than that cap, and so they're not the most highly tuned blasters. I'm using standard Adventure Force or Dart Zone black and orange darts. Let's see what we get at low setting. 151, 163, 109, 109, 135. It sounds like something's not sealing quite right. But we're going to crank it up and see what we get. Right, I've now got it dialed all the way in. We're going to see what happens. 150, and again, it doesn't sound like it's sealing. That felt like it's that sealed and it hit 190. 189. That didn't seal. 173. And I'm out of bounds because apparently I can't count. So when it seals properly, again, stock blaster needs to get tuned, need better stuff. We are seeing upwards of a 40 FPS difference between high and low. More if you go the highest to the lowest. So yeah, let's try the other one. Right, we've got the extended cap in my other one with the blaster core stock. Let's see what kind of numbers we get with it stock. 158, 154, 148, 137, 153. So what you would expect from a stock Nexus. Let's crank it up. Right, now it is dialed all the way in. Let's see what we get. 180, 162. Again, not sealing. 72, 87. So that one, needs better internals. Anyway, again, we are seeing an increase, slightly less on the top end, because I think this is meant to be slightly less. It might be meant to be slightly more. I don't know. Again, the fact that these aren't tuned blasters is throwing off the numbers and all. But we are seeing an increase. So, let's take it to the range and plink! Not because I think it'll actually prove anything, but because I want to plink! It's a beautiful day. It's the same beautiful day from a different video. Or actually, I think it'll be a later video. Editing is magic. Time is a useless construct. To the range! Right, here on the range. Behavior spell. I've still got it dialed all the way in because that's what it was at the end of the last segment. And I didn't want to undial it, undial it for you anyway. We're gonna plink! I'm actually gonna get the optics out. Because why not? Take the safety off. Can I hit a bottle? Oh, so close. So close. Oh! I got him! I hit the 50. Oh, not quite. There it is. Lovely. Now I shall dial it down. Right. Now for lighter plinking. Can I get a bottle? Nope. Lovely. Lovely. Let's try the other one. Right, we got this one also dialed in all the way. Let's plink. $50. Oh, a little low. A little high. Come on, give me a consistent shot. There it is! Alright, let's dial it down. Dial it up. We're gonna dial it. Right, Dialed. Here we go. The prime is significantly lighter. Oh, we're all over the place now. Oh, here we go. Come on. Oh, I'm close. No, I'm not close. No, I'm out of ammo. Lovely. Right. Final thoughts. Train. Right. Final takeaways. Well, they absolutely do what is advertised. They apply pre-compression to your spring to raise or lower the FPS, and it will go anywhere from 30 to 50 FPS depending on your build. From what I have seen, some of that may be the result of these, again, being stock blasters, not well tuned. If you want good performance, you need to tune your blaster, and there's a lot of tinkering that you can do with internals and springs and which darts you use, and all of that will make a difference. But this will allow you to increase or decrease the pre-compression on whatever spring you put in there. And I think it's pretty neat. It's, like I said, it's a concept I had thought of long ago, but didn't have any way to implement, and I never could have implemented it as well as this. It gives you a lot more control than, say, just static 3D printed caps, though those obviously have the advantage of being set to certain things, whereas here you'd have to adjust. But you can adjust, so if you want to adjust, this is the way to go. As for the stocks, this stock was obviously specifically designed to be able to work with this, and so it's really easy to get your fingers on it and adjust it up or down. Whereas this one, while it will allow for it, wasn't designed for it. This was designed for the static caps. You can get your fingers in there and twist it, but it's more difficult. But you can do it. So if you have one of these already, or you just really like the look of this one over that one, there's some difference. Know that it will work, just not quite as well. Where is that cap? Let's put this back together. Come on, there we go. Fabulous. Where's the thumb screw? Thumb screw! So there it is. There are my thoughts on all of this. Very cool. Link will be in the description. My thanks, of course, to 3D Printed Solid for sending these over, and my thanks to you guys for watching. Give me.